Hey guys, Max here from maxvine.com. So in this video, I want to share with you guys probably the best piece of advice I've ever received on overcoming problems and overcoming challenges and obstacles in my life and how to deal with them, right? Because the most common response of people when they hit adversity, when they hit problems, when they fail, when they embarrass themselves, when they fall flat in their face in the pursuit of their goals, when adversity comes and strikes them and they get those problems in their lives, whether it's a sickness, whether it's problem losing a job, right? Whether it's failing in a business, all of these things, right, that tear people down, right? And the most common response to that is usually giving up. Fighting against it, right? Constantly getting so angry at that thing that happened to you, right? And the reality is, that is your right. You have all the right in the world to be angry or frustrated or depressed or sad about that thing that happened to you, that negative event that happened in your life. But the reality is also that getting angry about that and frustrated and depressed and sad and staying in a negative emotional state doesn't serve you and getting out of it. It doesn't serve you in getting to the next level and breaking through and overcoming it, right? And so many people, I see them always staying in a negative emotional space, right? Constantly rehearsing the negative events, the negative problems in their lives. They put their focus on that, and guess what? If you focus on that, right? If you focus on the limiting stuff in your life, if you focus on the problems in your life, you're gonna start to see more of that. It's called the RAS, the reticular activating system in the brain, which literally means that you start to pay more attention to the things that you focus on. Meaning, the more you focus on that negative thing in your life, the more you're gonna start to see it, the more negative things you're gonna start to pay attention to. And so life ultimately isn't lived that way, right? You can't live a positive life and you can't get out of that negative emotional state if you keep reliving it, right? And so the best advice I've ever received on how to deal with those things, how to deal with failure, whatever it is, comes from Thomas Barschap. He's one of the Germany's leading mental coaches in terms of management training and athletic coaching. He works with Bayern Munich, for example, the soccer team, right? What he told me is simple this. Change it, leave it, love it, right? The most common, or the easiest thing you can do, instead of just trying to fight it, instead of trying to be negative, if you are in a situation right now that you don't enjoy, that you don't like, that doesn't fit you, your life, is change it, right? Rather than just complaining about it, change that thing. If you're overweight, go change it, right? Instead of complaining about it, being like getting hung up and frustrated and creating these limiting beliefs of I'm just fat and I'm supposed to be like that, change it, right? Go to the gym, eat right, right? If you failed that test, right? Go study, right? Instead of constantly getting caught up in I'm not good enough, right? Second thing is, if you can't change it, right? There's certain circumstances in life we can't change. Leave it, right? Leave that thing, leave that person, leave that business, leave that project. If you can't change it and you don't enjoy it, it doesn't actually fulfill you, right? You've got to try to leave it, right? And last thing, if you can't leave it, if you can't change it, you've got to learn to love it. This is what, the ancient Stoics came down to with amor fati, right? Love your faith. Whatever it is, if it's good, if it's bad, doesn't matter, but getting hung up in the negative, constantly focusing on why this is bad, why this is horrible, right? It doesn't serve you. And so if there are things in your life that you can't change and that you can't, go away from, you've got to learn to love those parts of your life as well, right? You got to learn to love those, aspects of your life and of yourself as well, because they are there, right? And getting negative about them doesn't help, right? It is completely human, but it doesn't help if you're trying to live a good life. And so the last step is really love your life and love the things in your life that, hey, maybe you can't change, they're there, right? And they're negative, but learn to love them, learn to appreciate them, learn to accept that they're part of your life, right? And learn to live with them in a way that actually makes you more excited about life, rather than constantly getting frustrated and angry at the thing that happened to you guys. And so the simple, phrase here, change it, leave it, love it, really gives you 3 simple steps to deal with any kind of adversity, to deal with any kind of problems in your life, right? And it really comes down to what exactly can you use, right? If you can change it, right? If you can't change it, then leave it. If you can't leave it, right, they've got to learn to love it, because what is the alternative, right? What is the alternative to being positive, right? It's being negative is not really an option, right? Being negative and frustrated and angry in your life, right? For a couple hours or maybe a couple of days, that's totally fine, right? But being frustrated and angry for the rest of your life is just not an option, right? And so at some point, it's about getting off the mat, right? Off the ground, getting back in the game again, right? And doing that as quickly as possible, right? Because here's another idea, right? People always say, hey, fall on the ground and get back up, right? Everyone does that, right? At some point, everyone gets off the ground. That is not the difference between people. Just getting off the ground, everyone does at some point. Maybe a couple minutes, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple years later. But at some point, everybody gets off the ground. So that's not the question. The question is, what is that time, right? How long does it take you to get off the ground again, right? Is it only a couple minutes? Like, do you get that failure? Do you get that problem, right? And you're right back in the game? Or do you sit and wallow and why was it me and why did this happen, right? And you do that for weeks and months and years of your life, right? That is really the central difference between success and failing life is what is that sort of refractory period? How long does it take you to go from failure and adversity and problem to getting back in the game again, guys? And so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Just remember here, Amor Fati, right? Love your fate. Change it, leave it, love it, right? Really using the simple framework to make decisions in your life based on what brings you ultimately the most happiness, the most joy, the most positivity in your life. So guys, really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below to get more videos like this on mental mastery, what it takes to live an epic life. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.